Initially, I estimated that it will take them 300 hours to create the first portal. And when I showed them the portal, they gave me an estimate of 60 hours instead of 300 hours. So, AI, where it can be a huge help to build product, to go faster, it can also destroy your identity if they find you spam AI. So, using AI, you need to understand how you're using it. Are you using it to build your image or destroy your image? One thing that I don't see AI is doing is the network that I'm creating. It's the people that I'm connecting today and who knows me, who know what I do.
Welcome to Artificial Insights, where we have conversations with leaders and thinkers in AI about how AI is changing economics, work, and us. I'm your host, Daniel Maneri, and this is Season 5. Today, I'm joined by Sharmeen Aqeel, founder and CEO of Lyyvora. I was interested in talking to Sharmeen because she's doing something that is quite difficult to do with the current funding landscape. When you go and you apply for funding as a business, it seems like it's a lot of work to get all of your ducks in a row and present the right documents, and you might get rejected the first, second, or even a few times, and that often stops people from pursuing lending and getting a loan for their business that could help them grow, even if they could have just found the right lender and kept their business going. Sharmeen's solving that problem. When I talked to her, I found it interesting that she said, yes, there's AI, but the big missing piece was technology to keep people together. In particular, that aspect of keeping people together, of bringing them into a community, has side effects that even if ChatGPT were able to give you amazing advice on lenders as easily as it gives you advice on a sofa, you wouldn't have a community of people. This community that Sharmeen is able to build because she is solving a problem in a specific domain is something that could stand the test of time. Sharmeen, could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So, Daniel, I am Sharmeen Aqeel. I had been professionally product designer and working as a product design leader for last 7 years. Recently, I started a company, Lyyvora. It's a lending platform for healthcare clinics. And mother of two kids living in Calgary, Canada.
Very cool. And could you tell us a little bit about how that journey resulted in entrepreneurship? Product design, starting your own company, that sounds like a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it is. But it's also my history which made me do this bigger step. When I was a teenager, I wanted to become a decorator, like making things beautiful. And then I saw my school, École de Design. I was in France, and I saw that they're taking design to solve human problems. At that time, it was in 2007, 2008. The human centered design was not as famous as it is now, especially in France. I was so attracted that how they're using design as a tool to combine engineering, design, and like statistic, and commercialization. Because all these three things together make something to make anything successful. So that was the basic thing that I was so attracted. But after 6, 7 years, I got into the school. I did my graduation, and for the 6 year, my school was teaching only to how to solve a problem, and not all the other things were optional. After that, I came into the user experience design, in which is more common, which is more famous at that time, and then became a product designer. But I was always wanted to solve a problem through my design skills. So had been doing it, but when I came in the leadership, things started slowing down. I solved the problem for the team, and but those problems were not big enough for me. And so this is where I started thinking that what am I doing with my life? I want to solve bigger problems. And then this is when I started finding this gap between financial world and the healthcare world, especially where there is an absence of technology. We can make things easier, but there's so much of noise of jargon of financial things. And so I thought that maybe it's time for me, people like me, who can solve those problems through human centered design. And so I started this company, Lyyvora. And my first objective was how can I make the loan application system easier for the borrowers? And so I created this app, I started my website form, and then started this partnership and so on. And so today, yes, a founder hustle, it's different, it's overwhelming sometimes, but I know that today I'm working to solve a bigger problem.
And there's a question that I think is on everyone's minds with a podcast like this, which is, Sharmeen, are you an AI?
I am the AI, I would say. I think, and this is another blessing that I got when I was working in a company, and AI was there in early 2025 and in 2024. The companies was not letting me use the full potential of AI because we were allowed only ChatGPT. And for anything else, we had to have the agreement of the company if I want to do. But since I started my own company, it's my rules. So I am just checking out AI from all different angles and just creating workflows. And I just can't imagine that I can do whatever I'm doing today without AI.
Is that from a entrepreneurial angle, or is that from the business angle, or both or more?
It's both. So first of all, most of the entrepreneurs, they know don't need a technical founder. They need someone who can help them. So for me, AI become my co-founder instead of co-pilot because for every different problem, I created one chatbot or sorry, chat GPT or another process, another agent to solve my problem. And so it's my right hand now, AI. And in terms of business, yes, it's also giving you one example. I wanted to develop the prototypes for my software, and being a designer, we are very handy with Go Figma and we started doing it. It took me 7 hours to do my first workflow for the borrower application. And but I was thinking that maybe there might be a better way. And finally I found a software which in 70 seconds made a better job what I did in 7 hours. It was
Wow.
like, oh my God. It's because there's so many things which can be automated by AI and we don't need to do that. And we are wasting our time, literally wasting our time doing it by ourselves.
7 hours doesn't sound too long to me, especially compared to maybe what it would take someone with less experience designing things. Why did that feel long to you? What's the urgency?
When you're a founder, you have so many things to do at the same time. When I was a designer, I was doing this design, so that was good for me. It's not much, but now I have to do marketing, I have to do the product development, I need to meet my the students who are working with me to explain them how to do that. I am also learning other tools like Excel. I'm making this debt plus MCA tracker easier for my users, and I'm understanding how to make Excel easy to use for the user. So there are hundreds of tasks going on during the day. Being a founder, I cannot afford to put 7 hours in one task, especially when
Mm.
it can be automated.
Mm. I like that urgency. And you mentioned that the business also benefits from AI. How have you used AI in the business or in the product itself?
So the number one thing that we are doing is matching the borrowers with the lenders, where we are using AI in this particular area. And I think that this is the best area where we can utilize AI is we collected the information of each lenders, their credit boxes, that what kind of borrowers they are interested in. Once we got those credit boxes, we started creating the borrower profiles and also just to test how it's working. And through AI, we have generated how we will be able to match borrow with multiple lenders and give the borrower the best option. So this is number one where we are using AI for our business. But there is one more thing that I'm using in AI as an AI is for my company Lyyvora, is sending the cold emails. So what I did is I created a system where I have the contacts of the potential clients. Those clients, I created an email list where the AI is going to read the name, the address, and the website of the clinic, and they will customize the text of that email. It will customize the text of the email. It will send through and attach it with another software. It will send my first email as that, okay, I'm Sharmeen, and I see that your clinic based in this and in this area. If you're looking for funding, will be there. So first email, second email as a follow up, and third as a last email as a third follow up. And so I'm sending those package of emails like 10 to 25 times a day. And again, what I have to do is to just look at what's going on, click okay instead of writing them all.
Wow, that is a lot of research to have done on your behalf.
Yeah, you know what? It seems like now it's automatic, but there is hours and hours of planning and how to solve it and how to do it. But finally, we are happy that we created this system where we can generate emails and send them automatically. Once the system will stop if they reply.
And you mentioned that the problem you're solving is matching up clinics, lenders. So they want to borrow some amount of money. What is the actual problem? What are the clinics looking to borrow money for? And how did you come across this mismatch where people find it hard to borrow?
So it started with the casual discussions that I was having with my massagist, with the dental clinic. And they kept coming saying the one thing repetitively is that they had a growing business, but they're having a hard time to get loans for their business. Sometimes they have to put their own house as a collateral to get the loans. When I started researching, the research was showing me different things, and the reality was showing me the different thing. On the paper, on the website, they say all you need to have is 6 months in business, at least 15 to 20K in revenues per month, and then what is the third thing? Yeah, your bank statements. That's it. But on the other side, the borrowers or the potential borrowers, they were having a hard time. So this is where I found the gap, that the information is there, the lenders are there, but the accessibility is difficult. And so this is where I came in, is that okay, through Lyyvora, if you apply with Lyyvora, I will match you with multiple lenders. You don't have to go each lender one by one and compare their offer. And it's going to be all online. It's a brokerage platform online, but the only difference is that instead of giving one best offer, we will recommend an offer through my AI, but we will still show them the other offers that other lenders are giving. So the borrower has this spectrums of offers and choose the one which fits them best.
I find it fascinating as well that isn't related to your day job. This doesn't seem like a problem that you came up through that industry. How do you feel about encountering this problem? And then how did you make that decision to jump in and solve it?
I discovered so many things while being an entrepreneur in this journey. I thought that if I solve the human-centered design problem, if I will be able to match the borrower with the lenders, I'm going to save their time. With one streamlined application, they will be able to see multiple offers. It's all user experience design that I was working on. So my initial idea that I'm going to use my design skill to make it a better user experience. But in reality, it's only 10% of the work. The other 90% things are not design related. And
Mm.
so, yeah, I underestimated the amount of work that a founder needs to do. And yes, my background helped me a little bit, but I'm still learning. There are hundreds of other wheels that which needs to move all together to make a meaningful product, to create a meaningful company. And yes, my background helped me for making things user friendly, but not more than that.
And before Lyyvora existed, what was the experience of both the borrower and the lender? How does that improve now?
So we still have a lot of work to do because we haven't reached the main population that we want to. But it's not that they had this experience and now it's completely, and this problem is still there. The number one problem is they whenever they get rejected by a bank, they get frustrated and they feel that okay, that's it. So most of the borrower, they don't even apply, and according to the Federal Reserve statistic of 2025, 60% of the people, they don't reapply to other banks. And nobody is there who can tell me that okay, this is not the end of the world, there are other people, you might get approved. They think that everyone is going to be the same. And so this is the biggest thing. The educational part is still what we are working on, to tell borrowers that if you got rejected by your bank, it doesn't mean that you will be rejected by others as well. And what other things we are doing is that maybe today they cannot get a loan because they have something which is missing. And so that's why we also develop a borrower readiness portal where we will ask a couple of questions. For example, how much revenues you have, what is your profit margin, how much documents you have today. And we give them a score that, okay, you have 80% of chances to qualify in other areas. And some, if they have something missing or if they are not eligible today, we also help them by giving them some spreadsheet to track their revenues and how to create the forecast so that they will be eligible tomorrow. So our aim is not only to streamline the application, but to make the whole experience from finding a loan. If you get the loan with multiple offer, if you cannot get the loan today, how can we help you to prepare tomorrow to get the loan? So all those things are what we are working today.
Because there are two angles here that feel there's a lot to unpack. And one of them is, how do the lenders feel about this platform? And the other is, I'm interested in what role AI plays, as well as what can just be satisfied with other forms of technology, maybe really dumb forms of technology as well.
So Daniel, there is one thing that I don't see AI is playing any role, is building trust. So I can crush the trust with the AI. So this is where I'm avoiding AI. Giving you one example, whenever I speak to my lenders, it's me and them. There is no one who's giving me script that this is what you should be speaking. No, it's my thoughts, it's my language. And yes, I can generate the content, which maybe give me the topics that AI can give me topics. These are the topics you should speak to them. But when I'm building them, they are trusting me. They're meeting a human. Another way is also creating the trust with my borrowers. I started producing content, educational content on LinkedIn, and now recently started also on Instagram. I'm using AI to refine my ideas. But where I don't use AI is to, okay, AI, create an image for me and just give me a topic and then just copy paste it in there. So AI, where it can be a huge help to build product, to go faster, but it can also destroy your identity if they find you spam AI, like, okay, there, I'm just clicking and doing it. So using AI, you need to understand how you're using it. Are you using it to build your image or destroy your image?
I like that. People trust humans, they don't trust AI.
Yeah. And they, especially the founder, they, whenever I call, so I started also cold calling. I said, this is Sharmeen, founder of Lyyvora. It's hard for me still to imagine that an AI will be speaking from my side to say that, hi, this is Sharmeen, founder of Lyyvora. Yeah, it's because he's speaking human to human. So
Mhm.
on the other hand, I am using AI to generate emails because this is where I've got the contact and I said that, okay, these are the contacts, send me my value proposition. I'm sending them a value proposition, but the moment they click the button book an appointment, this is now I see that they're interested and now they see me. So yes, AI has their limits. I am using it in many areas, but it's not that if you click on the book meeting and there will be another chatbot who's going to speak with you.
And as far as the product that you've built goes, how does the divide between AI and technology look there?
One thing is, I am not an software engineer. So initially, it was harder for me to estimate how much time it will take to build my product. But I had been working in a company, so I had a rough estimate. And this is where I shocked the impact of an AI, especially for the new generation. I'm working with the students, and initially, I estimated that it will take them 300 hours to create the first portal. And when I showed them the portal and asked them that, okay, this is the workflow, these are the prototypes, and they understood the project itself. And they gave me an estimate of 60 hours instead of 300 hours. It's
Wow.
because today's generation who never learned, or maybe learned by they were in school a little bit how to generate code without AI, but now they are developing their skill with AI. It's not something like people who had been a developer for last 20, 30 years and now they have to relearn. Now this is completely different game. They are learning with AI. So they are efficient from the beginning. They don't know any other way to do it. So this is where I was impressed that how AI is helping software developers to go faster.
And inside of the product features, you've mentioned that there is some analysis of lenders, there is some matching. I think you said analysis of borrowers as well that does have an AI component.
Yes.
Is that correct? And is there more?
There is an AI component because the whenever the borrower they give all their information, the AI helps me to understand that if they are ready to borrow or not. So this system is all AI. And also this is the first stage when they say they're ready or not. But the second stage, okay, they are ready, but who is going to be the best match? Again, the AI is going to match that who's going to be the best lender with them for them.
If you're at liberty to share, how do you figure out a lender would be a good match for someone? Is that publicly available information? Is that based on history or what?
It can be for some lenders, it is a publicly available information. So, giving you an example, Merchant Growth, they are one of the biggest lenders of Canada. They can go and you can see in their website what are the main criteria. But the thing is, today, as I told you, that when borrower they get rejected, they don't even go in deep and see that am I going to be eligible for this or that. They just don't go there. There's a psychological barrier. But so for so many lenders, it is publicly available. In one in the United States, our partner is AFN, America Funding Network. They also have their information available. But the thing is, sometimes those information are not just like a landing page. There are 5 videos that you can watch, and then you can see that, okay. So yes, when you're running a clinic, you have other things to do than watching those videos. And so like me, like you said earlier, that 7 hours doesn't look a lot, but we have a lot of things to do. So should I spend my time looking at that or just not? So in some cases the information is available, but it's hard to find, it's hard to access. And even if it's easy to access, they don't go and look at.
And that way, you've already pre-processed all this information and are able to make that judgment across many lenders.
Yes, and sometimes they don't even need to know that what other lenders. They just apply. In a backend, I have 10ish lenders. I have all their information. I match them with them. I match the borrowers with them, and then they will just get the best offer, or multiple offers with the recommended offer. So they don't know, have to go and search that how much this lender is doing. I already have those information, and it's already applied.
And how does that affect the lenders?
So lenders building the company came up with so many good and bad surprises. This is actually a good surprise. I was extremely shy when I was speaking to my first lending partner. I was this imposter syndrome to say that someone who's not from finance, not from mortgage, a designer, how she is coming and developing this platform. But my initial discussion, all my discussion had been extremely smooth. And I came to know that what lender wants is qualified borrowers. And this is one thing that one I wanted, and this is what all Lyyvora was all about. So we are not just a website where people can just click and then I say that, okay, there are these 3 companies clicked on my website. You can see them. I actually filter the qualified borrowers, pre-screen them, and then send it to them. The final decision is going to be always the lender if they are okay or not. But at least I'm not giving them a huge quantity of borrowers and then they have to filter to find one. I'm already giving them someone who are already pre-screens, who already have their bank statements, their number of in business. So it's a huge time saving for lenders. And also they would love to help you, they would love to give loans, but this is how they work. And they welcomed me with whole hands that, okay, just be our partner, we'll be happy to have you as a partner.
And do you need to adjust for each lender? Or does each lender then say, oh, these leads are coming from Lyyvora, that means they're high quality? How does that relationship evolve?
There was a small adjustment because there are a few lenders who don't like who that I'm also sending other lenders the same information, and the borrower will choose the best. Upfront they said that, you know what, if we want it, we want it, and we don't want to compete with other lenders. So at that time, why would they want to compete? Someone else will take this. So yeah, and this is where I said that maybe I created their separate created both separately. Is this is not the foundation of Lyyvora. We are here for transparency. We are here to match with borrower. But if I find someone and it does not apply to any other lender, then I will be happy to show you. And if you qualify for it.
Okay. That is, I think, one of the interesting consequences of being able to pre-screen, to qualify people and look across so many lenders is now you've created essentially a marketplace where the lenders have to compete against each other.
Exactly. Yeah, this is kind of a marketplace. This is a very good word that you just said. It's because we are not direct lenders. We are not unlocking any money or that. We are just a marketplace where we will match them. And by the way, there's a small story last year when I also wanted to become going in this is I was interviewed by a company called Pine. It's one of the fastest growing startup in Canada, and they streamlined the process for mortgages. So I was speaking with the CEO of that startup, and he told me that today there is a lot of potential of creating those kind of marketplaces. There are so many areas that the people did not even touch, and lending platform it's one of them, especially in North America. So there are two giants in US, but they still need more work, more specialized people who can go in and make it even better.
And as you develop this, as you develop this marketplace, what's maybe one of the biggest positive surprises and one of the biggest negative surprises?
The negative surprises for me is the hustle of communication, where to find the borrowers. There are people who need it, but where are they? So, marketplace, it comes with also, it's an online thing, it's an online app. And then again, the trust issue comes. Why would they? Maybe it's an AI thing and there's no human behind it. So, how someone is sitting in Florida and he can say that, okay, I trust this platform and I'm okay to share that to ask it. So, yes, this is one of the thing that is a biggest hustle for me, that how can I show them that I'm a trustworthy person. And in order to do that, I have to communicate, I have to create YouTube videos, and somehow I reach them and to say that, yes, you have this problem, I am one of the person who can solve it.
So building trust and domain authority.
Yes. Also, the reach is how can I reach those people who need it? But yeah, where are they? How to still I'm figuring out how to do that.
And what about a positive surprise?
The biggest positive surprise is I thought that I shared it a little bit, but I would say that it was the most positive surprise is lenders trusted me and my platform and they became my partners. So it was piece of cake for to make them. And I just made not one, like 5, 10. It's just like this. And so I thought that this is going to be the biggest hustle, but no, actually. Apparently, there are two side of network, and Lyyvora is all about two-sided network, lenders and borrowers. The pleasant surprise was how easy it was to create the network of lenders, and the hustle, the bad surprise was how hard it is going to be to create a network of borrowers.
Yeah. That makes sense. But I also am a little surprised that lenders are so eager for this, but that's great. It's one of the things I find fascinating about AI is it allows these kind of connections that would have taken a lot of human judgment, but are so necessary. On one side, they're discouraging when it doesn't go right. On the other side, it's a ton of money to invest in examining every single borrower. But now AI has lowered this barrier, making that connection through Lyyvora.
Yes, and the AI is, I'm so surprised that when I started AI with the ChatGPT in late 2022, or I don't remember, yeah, maybe in late 2022, I thought that it's going to just, I ask a question, it will give me an answer. But today, AI is, we are using it in so many different angles that I never thought that AI might be useful for that. And this angle of matching borrowers with the lenders, this is one of the biggest angles that I'm using. Apart from building my own company where I can generate emails, send it to them, or the software which can be developed 10 times faster than it used to be. Also, new things that we are discovering which can be done with the AI wouldn't have possible before. Was not
Mm.
possible before.
Are there any new possibilities that are exciting to you that wouldn't have been possible before?
You know what? I'm still learning AI. Every day is a different day for AI. Give you an example. Yesterday, I was looking at the Excel sheet and I was not understanding what's going on in here. What I did is I just simply created a GPT and said that, okay, I'm going to now share with you some complex. What I want is I want a easy in easy English deconstruct the whole spreadsheet and etc. And then it just did it. Otherwise, I just spend my time on analyzing it by myself. All I have to do is to just drag and drop and say, okay, explain me how to deconstruct it. It seems like a simple thing that anyone can do, but unless you haven't done it, you don't even think about it that you can do it with the AI.
Yeah, spreadsheet analysis is it has come a long way. So I think maybe even last year it wouldn't have worked that easily.
And also the combination of multiple AI is I use Perplexity for a different reason. I'm using Grok more than Perplexity. So Grok with the Chat GPT, Claude I used, but I might gonna switch with Claude again, and then the UX Pilot. It's another AI. So how am I using all those combination of different AI to create one solution?
That's cool. What do you like about each one of those solutions?
What I love about Grok is that the instant information. Something happened 3 hours ago. I ask a question that, okay, what's the most exciting question about lending in North America, in Canada, and in US? And then it search and give me the latest news about it. So I'm not sure if ChatGPT is as quick as not. It's also because maybe the Grok is made by X Twitter, and everything which is in Twitter, it's already in their platform, and then you just access it quickly. So Grok had been a great tool for me to get this access of the information. ChatGPT is my go-to thing, go-to AI. It's so easy to use. I created my folders and I created GPTs inside. Maybe today we are saying, and I also create my LinkedIn post because I have GPTs which helps me to create LinkedIn posts. Apparently, I'm hearing that Claude is getting better in creating your sound and your text better than GPT. I haven't tested Claude yet, but so far GPT is my go-to tool for all the other things. It also has all my history where I started. Yeah, this is, and there is third AI which literally changed my life after using AI. Whisper Flow.
Oh,
Whisper Flow, I started using. I don't type anymore anything. So I just, if I need to write an email, I press a button and I speak. And when I stop it, it's just all written exactly the way I said. All the capitals are there, all the commas, all the stops are there. And no more, if you start using Whisperflow, I highly recommend to test it. It will save a ton of your time. And I think in few years the keyboard is going to disappear if we have tools like Whisperflow. So
I
yeah,
like that
I can
prediction.
keep going. There are so many other that I'm using. But
Mm.
I would say top three: GPT, Grok, and Whisper.
No, thank you. I think, like you have alluded to, it's quite tough to keep up with all the changes. So hearing how people are currently using them and how they've enjoyed them is very helpful. So thank you.
No, I'm also getting updated every day. It's quite overwhelming. Things which are progressing. So maybe what I said today, it wouldn't be valid 3 months later.
Yeah, that's quite possible. And I was interested in hearing from that angle, how has what you've done with Lyyvora and being a mother at the same time as an entrepreneur, how has that been enabled by the way that AI is now capable and maybe wasn't a year or two ago?
First of all, it would be harder for me to take a decision to create my company. I was maybe I it's overwhelming being a mother. I don't have 18 hours a day to work for my company. I'm working like 18 hours a day, but it's not all for my company. The other hours is for my kids, for my house. Again, this automation that is creating by the AI is just helping me to go faster, do fail fast, reiterate fast. Being a mother, yes, I don't have this luxury of spending a lot of time only on my work. So making things faster and no brainer things, those crafts where you don't need a human, AI is the answer for all those things.
I like that. Do you have any specific examples of things that you don't think need a human?
The best example is the writing. You don't need to. You don't need. It's not that you don't need a human. You don't need your fingers to write the text. You can write it with your voice. You can do all the capitals and stops and commas and everything. You don't have to look on this. So I'm just saying that. Oh my God, it's been so time. We were like thousands of years ago. We were writing with pencil, and then there was a typewriter, and then there's a keyboard, and now no more fingers needed. We so it's not about human is this is the one thing that I was extremely surprised that oh my God, it's gonna disappear in some time.
And on the topic of not needing a human, has there been any back or any errors that have come out of doing the analysis and matching borrowers with lenders in an automated way?
N- Not yet. There are always errors because I am sitting behind and checking everything. So I cannot leave everything on the AI to do it and just to send it. I'm there are some small thing, a small error somewhere AI does not understand, and it just translated in its own way, and it comes back to something that you don't imagine. And so being a human is, at least as for today, in early 2026, you need a human behind who is just checking that everything is going smoothly, or if those are legitimate answers that you're expecting from the borrower. Today, we are not at stage that only AI is doing everything.
So do you foresee, at least for maybe the next 6 months, as Lyyvora scales and handles more borrowers, you would need to hire people that would be behind the scenes, human in the loop style, and figuring out should this be corrected?
Yes, it's only if we have a thousands of borrowers coming every second day. Maybe at that time it would be hard to scale with humans. But as for now, it's also we're in the early stage of the company. Trust is the thing that if we break this, we can just destroy our company from the beginning. And so for this trust, even if the AI is giving us best answers it can, we do need a human behind it. And it's not about only verifying the information or if the answer is correct. It's also to understand, okay, this is the borrower, they need it. If they need a human connection behind it, for example, recently I was speaking with someone who applied through my website and I saw that how it was meshed with the other lenders, but she still wanted to speak with someone. As I
Hmm.
had been following the whole process silently, when I spoke to her, I knew exactly what's going on in her life and what are her questions. At this early stage, I believe that it I myself has to be hands on all those areas.
I like that. And that keeps the personal touch, even if there is an AI that's doing most of the grunt work.
Yes, the personal touch and that trust, I would say, more than personal touch, this trust that there are humans behind the AI. It's not a spam AI.
Yeah, that is important. And how do you see AI maybe changing in a way that would affect Lyyvora or this marketplace business?
Maybe again, AI is going so fast that I will not be surprised that in 5 years, Livora, the whole proposition of one borrower matching with multiple lenders is going to be extremely easy to use, easy to develop, and then there will be I will no more need Livora. They will just go in a GPT, apply, and then they get the offers. So maybe Livora might not be existed at that time. That's a very good question, and this is what I was asking. That maybe the AI is gonna replace Livora, maybe. But one thing that I don't see AI is doing is the network that I'm creating. It's the people that I'm connecting today and who knows me, who know what I do. So yes, the application process might not be there, but the community I'm going to build from now until I don't know in 5 years. Today there are hundreds of people in my connection of the borrower, but in 5 years there will be thousands of people, and those thousands of people will be trusting what we do. So again, coming back to the trust, I would say that this is one thing that I believe it's going to be harder for AI to replace a human.
That makes sense. And AI doesn't have the ability to build a network of trust.
Not yet. As it's easy to say that tomorrow there will be a chat where they will just ask answer and they get the offers, and then it will be. It is. I can see it. It's coming. It's possible, but I don't see it coming. That AI is. You're just this network that those humans that you're connected. You're not only. I'm also currently building a community where all the borrowers they are discussing with one another their pain points and
Hmm.
what are the clinic growth problems. It's a close community where they find only like-minded people. It's not like a Reddit where they just post something and someone come. You don't know if it's a legitimate person or not, or just a fake profile whatsoever. So this close community where people will be discussing things with one another, answering, understanding. This is again, it's hard for me to see AI is replacing it.
Ah, that sounds quite valuable. And is there anything that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, what I would love to talk about is, especially as from the founder's perspective, this is a great time to see that life world is changing, and we it's not a choice anymore to no, I don't like AI, and I think that it's not emotional thing. You have to do that. There's so many people who say that we are boycotting this AI arts is because they are stealing the art of human. I agree with them that there maybe in tomorrow there will be rules and regulation behind it, but as for today, it's hard to say that I'm boycotting with this and that. You have to adapt. So, giving you one example, I have a friend. She said that whenever I see that this video was not produced by a real human, there was an AI who was producing this video, I don't even watch it. I say that okay, but I say that like it or not, maybe in 6 months, all the videos are going to be produced by AI. And so you might, the human, he just sent his picture and the AI converted the whole video with the picture of the presenter. Like it or not, it's coming. So my advice is to don't be too emotional about AI, that this is not, this is the evolution and we have to adapt accordingly. One thing, yes, I agree that always have our values. We should not overcome on our values. But I don't think so. There's a value game in someone is producing their videos because it's easier. So you have to go with the flow in other cases.
And how can we keep up to date with you and Lyyvora?
I'm extremely active on LinkedIn and I started posting also on Livo at Instagram. So connect me and follow me on LinkedIn. So it's you can find me with my name Sharmeen Aqeel or with my company name Lyyvora, Lyyvora Landing Platform. Or you can go to my website www.lyyvora.com, Lyyvora.com. So just send me a message, whatever your question have about how as a founder I'm using AI, or someone who needs to borrow or have a loan, I will be happy to help.
I started this podcast because of an image that came to me in a dream. Back when cities had walls, everyone passed through the gate. Talk to enough people there and you'd understand the city. I wanted to stand at the gate and understand not just how AI was changing, but how AI was changing us. If you know someone building or leading with AI, or if this episode was useful, an introduction, a share, or a quick review on your podcast app all help keep these conversations going and help others find them. You can reach me on LinkedIn at Daniel Maneri or by email at daniel@maneri.house. That's Daniel at manary.haus. Thanks for listening.